Hello and welcome aboard the curriculum train once again. This is a continuing examination of the issues affecting basic education in Ghana, particularly in the public sector. We have been supported all along by Star Ghana. In this edition, we return to Ho and Cape Coast, Volta and Central Regional Capitals respectively, to find out what effect the curriculum series has had on the ground by way of positive developments. In Ho, the airing of the programs motivated philanthropists to come to the aid of the featured schools.
When GBC and Star Ghana team came and showed the program, changed the whole status of Aklamakwetwe. But people started calling in, how can we have such a school in the whole municipality? So we had a lot of donors, philanthropists popping in, running to the school to improve the quality of teaching and learning in that school.
The Aklamakwetwe project, the 3-unit classroom block, is being funded under Urban Development Grant. That project is a 6-month project, and we hope by close of December, the contractor would have handed over that project to the assembly.
Rotrax Club in Ho is also on the ground. They're going to put a 3-unit classroom block for the JHS.
I call on Bridge Mission and dug a borehole for us.
One of my board members was part of the people who constructed the borehole there. So he came to talk to the board that the community needs a classroom block. So we decided to visit them and we found out that they actually need the classroom block. That's why we decided to build a classroom block for them.
We are also planning, it is in our 2015 budget, to put up another 3 classroom blocks for them, in addition to what Rotrack is also doing.
Also provided the headmaster with very comfortable furniture.
Before GBC Star Ghana team came to Aklamakwetwe school complex, people didn't know anything about this school. Because of your coming, we now have feeding program in the school that actually encouraging the enrollment. Formerly, the whole school were about 76, and right now we are about 137.
In my area as the ICT teacher, actually some old computers were brought to us to assist us in teaching, just to help us not to teach in abstract. We don't have electricity to here, so we are just using it as a teaching aid to help the kids to know what actually those ICT materials are and accessories are. Since we'll be competing with other schools, we need some basic structures to be in place in terms of academic work. For example, it will be good if we have ICT lab, because in our ICT syllabus, the kids are to type. Now that we don't have a lab and we don't have functioning computers, it's difficult to teach that topic.
I have seen the monitor, system units, mouse. I have touched them. We need electricity to power the computers.
Now, they are making toilet for us, and we are happy about that.
My thanks goes to the Assembly for responding to our demands.
There has been a great change in the sense that the Municipal Education Office, seeing our plight, quickly came to our aid by providing us with 14 dual decks, which at least can occupy 28 pupils. And then the JHS, which we supply, they have been provided with mono decks. The headmistress said, oh, she can't keep all the tables and chairs to herself alone. So she quickly came to our aid by providing us with 25 tables and chairs, which I put in class 6 for them to feel comfortable. Now there has been a great change, and I've admitted at least this year about 30 more pupils. The beautiful building, we would think everything is there, but exposing us, it has really helped us because the municipal office quickly came to our aid.
You were at Hokoji, where we saw dear kids lying on the floor, and immediately the question that started agitating is this whole municipality, especially the regional capital, how can it be? So quickly we were also very fortunate, as if your coming was a sort of blessing. We had desks that were supplied from headquarters, so quickly we supplied Hokoji and other schools with pieces of desks, so that at least these children can sit comfortably.
We have seen a great change. Even in the pupils, they are very happy now that they have somewhere to sit in the classroom and learn.
The Great Farm project, that mighty building without electricity, and they were charging the computers from the pastor's house. So quickly people came in and the electricity has been extended to the school.
When the GBC Star Ghana team visited our school and they left, there is a drastic change in the school. Our school formerly was not connected to the national grid. We were surprised that one day when we came to the school, the contractor was around, we were connected to the national grid. And now our computers can now be charged in the school and work is going on smoothly.
We actually tried our best to see if we can level the compound for the children. But the nature of the project here, you can see it yourself, that the project is very big and one person alone cannot do it.
So I actually saw this program on the tele about the special school at the Anglican premises here. So I saw how the place was very rough. The children with special needs, the way some of them were finding it difficult to walk through the place, and I was touched that such a thing was happening within the municipality. So I quickly rushed first to the assembly and raised it with the MC that this was what I saw, and I thought it would be good if they can assist us. So she asked that we write and see what they can do. So I contacted Mr. Francis Ashion, the director of Voice Ghana. We decided to collaborate and have the problem solved.
What we did more was to contact the whole municipal assembly to release their grader to level the school compound for the children. But the chief executive called for more like assessment report of the whole environment to see what can be done and done better. When we got to the site, we realized then that the whole issue was not more of leveling the place alone, but it has to do with checking erosion and then making it more accessible for the children.
The assembly has not factored the activity into its budget, but they have made a commitment that they will see to the project, and we are also committed as leaders of persons with disability groups that will continue to exert pressure on the assembly to make sure that that project is executed.
Our work as an organization is to provide services for children and young people who are either blind or those with low vision. After the documentaries, we fortunately had a call by the German embassy. We're linked with an organization in Germany known as the German Organization for the Support of the Blind. So they came to our aid by providing us with the computers and the embosser, including the scanner, which helps us to scan the normal textbooks with the software which is called the open book into the text format before it is edited and translated into the braille format to be embossed for use. So we highly appreciate the support by Star Ghana and GBC in promoting the issues relating to children and young people with disability.
The documentary, for that matter, has touched the hearts of individuals, and they are trying to make their own contribution to support education of children with disabilities in the school and also in the municipality.
And in fact, we are also learning some very good practices from Obuasi, and we want to compete with them. So we put in some strategies like the model school system. We've selected 20 model schools in the whole municipality. The criteria we use, the environment, administration, their previous performances in the BEC. We are doing this on pilot basis. Then we can replicate it in other schools.
Recently, they've selected our school as a model school. Regular supervision is seen more than often. And formally, circuit supervisors do come once 2 weeks or once 3 weeks, but now it's regular. Sometimes they come unannounced. When they come, they take the books, they themselves go to the classrooms, check the registers, the exercise books of the children, and then later the group, all of us, talk to us, and then sometimes they come and then go through how we prepare a detailed lesson notes. The effect is that now the teachers are following the notes that they've prepared strictly, and we, the head teachers too, we go around.
Municipal Directorate send officers around often to come and check on our sanitation and check on learning and teaching, and they have provided us with learning and teaching materials.
Since they made our school a model school, they've built us the urinal, the ICT laboratory, the PTA bought us dustbins to put our waste inside. The PTA are also building us the computer lab, and I'm happy about it. The teachers come to school punctually. I can see that we are improving in all the subjects. They introduce reading.
With supervision, it's the duty of a model school head to be the supervisor on the ground, and all those things are going on. I put measures in place. When you submit your note, it is on record. When you submit it, you have to date it yourself, and I sign against it. Also, punctuality and regularity will help us to be able to perform well. We have the records here. If you cannot come for any reason, you need to seek permission, written. If you are late without permission, you will find where you fall in the attendance book. So all that, I have noticed that it is helping the teachers to sit up. If you are taxed and there is supervision on you, you are bound to perform. So I'm expecting a better result than it used to be.
During mocks, that's a preparation before BEC, a lot of headmasters call or come for my paper, as well as the school also going for others, because we are using the same syllabus. We may not set a question and they may set, so we share the papers. So just to prepare the student before the BEC. My advice to other PTAs is that they should help the school.
We have also, from the interactions we had with the parents, we've agreed that we'll assess the P6 pupils before they go to Form 1. So we'll have a common examination for all of them, assess them, so that at least those at the primary section will know the caliber of pupils they are handing over to the GHS. And I think that will bring some competition among the schools. We have also made it as a policy that immediately we have teaching and learning materials from Accra, we have to push them back to the school, so that we use the office just as a conduit.
We need to sensitize the stakeholders. That should be the #1 priority, so that everybody will be able to know the role he needs to play, either complementary or supplementary roles that they need to play, so that all of us will be able to give the best of education to our learners. There are good teachers who are examiners. Sometimes it's not that the children are not intelligent, but they don't know how to answer the questions. So we'll start bringing the experienced examiners and sending them to the final year classes to give them additional tuition and polish them up. And we hope with this we'll be making progress gradually. We
are very, very grateful to GBC Star Ghana for opening our eyes and then challenging. In fact, this is a big challenge actually, and we want to assure you that we are going to sustain it.
We now turn our attention to the Cape Coast metropolis. Ironically, the cradle of education in the country now has some of the worst results in Ghana. This dire situation has prompted the Metropolitan Assembly to come out with bylaws on loitering by children, especially in the evenings. There is a realization that study periods of children need to be enforced.
I happened to be part of a curriculum program some time ago, and the situation in Cape Coast indeed was very bad. So when people saw the documentary, a lot of effort are being put in to ensure that the situation is reversed. From the Metro Assembly level, Assembly is concluding the work on the gazetting of the bylaws. What we are left now at the Assembly is the education on the bylaws, so that the citizen will know what the bylaw entails and the penalties involved. We are going to implement this to help the situation as far as our education is concerned, because there's educational component of the bylaws. For example, children need to have time to study in their homes, and so there's an aspect of the bylaw that addresses that, and so we need to use it. When it is used, children will be kept indoors and they will study, and we ensure that the situation is reversed. So that is one effort being put in at the Assembly level. I happen to be part of PTA meetings organized at Abra Ahmadiyya Basic School, A4 St. Mary's Basic School. In all these areas, I really put forward the case of curriculum program, what has happened and what is going wrong in Cape Coast, what is actually accounting for the low performance of our BCE. Because of what curriculum revealed, parents at their level are also doubling their efforts. What they are doing, for example, is they are actually levying themselves to ensure that teachers extend some hours of their work and children will receive tuition the more. And so they are also becoming increasingly aware of the manner they use children after school, so that they will lower the workload given to children to ensure that they will be with their books. This is the level of parents.
We've met the parents and we discussed about how far we are going to improve upon the BEC, and they came up with the extra classes, and the teachers also agreed to help the children. And we, the teachers, have also planned of using reading for the primary level, because when they come to JHS, the reading is a problem.
At the community level, for example in Abra, they are also doubling their efforts by way of making sure children are indoor, particularly in the evenings. And so neighborhood watchdog committee have been formed, and police need to regularize their status so that legally they become an instrument to work with.
The watchdog committee is a laudable idea. Police, we welcome it. We do everything possible to help them integrate it. First, we need to check their background. They have to come to the police station. We have to take their fingerprint. It's a voluntary type of work.
Our children will be malingering all over the place. They don't go to school. They don't go to even the extra classes on vacation. So what we did was, like funeral, when you start your funeral on Friday up to Sunday, after 6, you must close down your spinner. If you go beyond 6 o'clock, you'll be arrested and prosecuted. We tested that and it worked.
When we call for PTA meetings, many of the parents do not attend. So we called for the DEBA so that the stakeholders will get involved, bring out suggestions how we are going to improve the standard of education in the community. We chose Tuesday because in the fishing community, Tuesday is a holiday. So we want everybody to get involved.
We are hoping that as a result of this study that you have done and our own resolve to turn things around, we will be able to bring in all those matters, because sometimes when you make an intervention and you don't get all the necessary stakeholders on board, it doesn't really yield results. Fortunately for us as an assembly, we've been able to gazette and publish our bylaws that has sections in it that addresses some of the challenges. And we hope that when it is implemented in force, together with all the necessary stakeholders again on board, like the traditional authorities, the police, the Department of Social Welfare, some NGOs who are active among commercial sex workers. And then together with all these bodies, make sure that at least children in Cape Coast go to school and are able to go through at least the secondary level.
Our new director has put in place strategies that will boost the supervision and monitoring in the schools. So basically, these are some of the issues that has been seen as improvement in the directorate ever since you came here. We have some schools which were running shift system. Now those schools have been given to contract.
Assembly has made a headway through the infrastructure development. So far, I can count about 3 or 4 schools that have benefited from the GET fund.
There is an improvement also in the supply of logistics in terms of IT. A benevolent person in one of the schools has put up an IT center to help the children improve their learning in the IT. Also, we have the Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Mr. Eboba Trodro. He has put up a science and ICT center in his constituency.
He has also taken the step to develop Science Resource Center in the Cape Coast North constituency, and that is at the Abra Amedia Basic School.
I think the program has been very important to me and to the directorate as well, because it has brought some openings. There are some things maybe the office may not know, especially those children roaming in the street. We hear it, but now when we watch it on the television, we saw what's actually going on and we realized there is something to be done. And that is why steps have been taken to make sure that everybody in the office is on board.
We are very sure, confidently, with all this effort put in, the situation in Cape Coast will never be the same as curriculum has revealed. It will change and it will bring good news to Cape Coast. The case of Obuasi was very clear. Consistently, Obuasi have been recording 100%. Records are there to show. What's accounting for that? We see that really the way the parents there are actually contributing to education, the way teachers, all stakeholders, they are on board and making Obuasi having such a success story. Why can't we copy Obuasi's situation? We can. Come next 2-3 years, I know we also record 100%. I think we thank Star Ghana with the GBC for undertaking this program. Even though we have seen that performance is going down, we haven't been able to tackle it. Now, with the curriculum revealing our situation, everybody is touched and we are all on board, making sure that we revert the situation.
It would be wrong to say that the curriculum has provided a panacea for all the ills of the educational system in either Ho or Cape Coast, but it has certainly acted as a catalyst for improved teaching and learning and better infrastructure, all of which contribute to enhanced academic performance. For the curriculum, this has been a look at responses to the series in Ho and Cape Coast. We are grateful to Star Ghana for their support. Goodbye.